let's break the mold. Chasing the stories yet untold. Passion ignites like a blazing fire. Knowledge takes us higher, higher. Out of the box where the wild ones play, we see the game in a whole new way. Living loud, hearts in motion. Sports with soul, pure devotion. The field's alive with endless dreams. We're more than stats, we're the in-between. A slam dunk thought.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another NFL free agent edition of the Sully Squad. We are back. Last week we did a little free agent frenzy preview. Last week it was legal tampering period. So since then the Eagles have lost some good players. I mean, they lost Nakobe Dean. They lost Blankenship. They lost, of course, Jalen Phillips. Jalen Phillips, we talked about that last week's show. I don't think anybody thought he was going to make $30 million a year. But since then, they've added some guys. Reek Woolen, I think, was a good signing. Dallas Goedert's back. So, and NFL league year is moving along. Teams are making moves. So we're going to get into a lot of that. Philly spring training. I mean, Christ, we're only about 10 days away from the opening day, right? Yeah. Something like that.
Yep.
So we'll get into that. World Baseball Classic. I don't know if I know Sean and I were texting during that last night. That was a great game.
So did the crybaby. Go get some tissues. I got them for you.
Yeah, great pitching. Great pitching
by strike.
Yeah, great pitching by Team USA. That last strike, they kind of caught a break there. Let's be honest, it looked a little low. But all in all, great performance by them. The Flyers are win some, lose some.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Flyers are gonna do just enough to just miss the playoffs, but yet get a shitty pick, which is purgatory, which is rough. And then the hospital Sixers this week. The Sixers. Practically the whole team out, and Quentin Grimes, 2 good performances in a row, along with Edgecombe, 2 home wins this week. So, got all kinds of stuff going on in Philly sports and national sports. So we're going to get right into it here. I got my usual cast. I got my man Jeff in the middle. What's up, Jeff? How you doing, man?
Good. Tired of this weather. Once this storm moves out, I'm done. That's it.
I hear you there. And then right next to Jeff, I got my man Sean Kilrain. What's up, dog? How you doing?
Sean, man. Let's get it in.
Yeah. So, you know what? We got a comment because we were kind of debating on where to start because I figured, you know what? I mean, we could go baseball. I mean, Sixers, Flyers. I don't really. That's kind of depressing.
Yeah.
A lot of football, but here's our man Maurice Wright has a question straight out the box. He says, how do you guys feel about Bryce?
I'm worried about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's not even hitting in the World Baseball Classic until last night, but all in all, it is worrisome. You know what I mean? You're paying this guy so much bread, and what's he have to show for?
Listening to some of the reporters and stuff out there, they are coming to the same kind of conclusion that I think. In sports, when you're not doing as well as you used to, you grip the stick a little harder, or you have to hold on to that bat a little tighter. I know that Dombrowski thing got to him. We all know that, and he knows
absolutely.
He knows that he wants to prove something, and I think he's trying too hard now. And he's also seeing these young kids that make it look effortless. And I think that's bothering him because he's starting to get the kind of, if you look at him now, he's constantly cursing and slamming the bat down. His mind isn't right.
Yeah, he was laid back. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where I'm worried about him right there.
Well, also to bring up to your point, his swing is violent. It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hopefully Kevin Long or whoever, gets him back into his groove, so to speak. But like you said, you got these upcoming kids. Hopefully, this World Baseball Classic, the star status of all these guys, Judge, like yo, be humble, bring them down to earth, and just do what you do, win games and come clutch when you can, instead of like you're saying, trying too hard, gripping the bat. Just
Yeah.
be you. Ride the wave, like I said. You know what I mean?
He doesn't need to be
Yeah.
even though everybody makes him out to be that, he doesn't need to be the superstar stud on the Phillies.
Yeah.
There's other guys there.
Yeah, you got Schwarber, you got Trey, you got a great supporting cast, like you said. You're not the one man show. You know what I mean? Almost, so to speak, can we say Aaron Judge? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, he hopefully he does, like you said, get his head cleared up, his mind right, and all this other stuff. And we got Mr. Aaron serving up meatballs Nola pitching for Italy tonight.
Yeah, but what if,
I think it's going to be a good game.
If Nola wins this game, Nola's going to put us against the U.S. So it'll be Italy and U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen, you know what? I mean, hey, Dave, how you doing? Dave Yornel checking in. The one thing about Nola, though, he looked pretty good. He looked good for the Phillies.
Yeah.
He looked good for the Phillies in his outing with the Phillies, and he looked damn good for Team Italy last year. So I mean, we'll see what Nola does tonight. And as far as Bryce goes, I mean, I'm not overly concerned just yet because baseball's a game of peaks and valleys. But I'm a little concerned in the fact that you're looking at a guy in Bryce Harper who's he's only 32 or 33. I think he turns 33 this year. This year.
Mm-hmm.
And but it's not just that. I mean, like you said, Sean, he's got a really violent swing. He's been in the majors since 2011. I mean, he's been in the league for about 15 years. And that's a lot of violent swings. So you do wonder if maybe the bat speed is just slowing down a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then in turn, if you notice, it seems like he chases more pitches than he used to chase. And that happens a lot when
he's not getting that outside fastball. He's not catching up to that. That's one thing I was watching.
Yeah, it amazes me how, like you said, Joey, how good of a hitter he is, and just the chase pitches, swing early. Like, I mean, I just think, I hope he gets his stuff together, you know what I mean? Because when he's on, he is on, but
that happens when you lose bat speed, though. Yep. Because when your bat slows down even just a slight little bit, it makes you cheat. It makes you cheat a little bit because you're not quite as, and then it makes you susceptible to. Dave saying Nola's not pitching, but I'm looking.
He's pitching.
I was going to say I'm looking at Bet 365, and it's Aaron Nola against Montero.
Yeah, so, I didn't think Lorenzen was even in the WBC.
No, he is. He is in it, but
they called in.
Nola's going tonight.
Yeah, Nola's going tonight. Yeah, that's what they had. It's all over.
But
I think Harper's a good enough hitter that if he just didn't have to worry about trying to get 35, 40 home runs and all that, he just hit. They'll come. Those home runs will come. He plays in a homer friendly stadium as it is. And like you said, he's got guys around him, so that's his mental state. He has to work with that. I don't think Long or anybody else can do that. Hopefully, like his friendships or whatever with Schwarber and Turner and those guys can get to him. It just depends on his psyche.
And one thing, can we kind of agree on? Do we think his elbow or some kind of injury is hindering him? We don't know. I mean, but I would hope not.
Yeah.
But
it could be a lifelong thing for all we know. It could be arthritic for all we know. He is in his 30s, and is that enough injuries and stuff? You don't know, but at least we haven't heard any stories or any. We know where there's smoke, there's fire. We haven't heard squat. So
yeah, no news,
This,
Good
yeah.
news.
Right.
So,
Here's our man Mike Fuji. He says Italy or Venezuela this evening. How are you guys? Mike, we're doing pretty good. I'm rooting for Nola just as a Phillies fan. I'd like to see Nola pitch well. That would be a nice little that would be a nice little segue into the season. And then one other thing too, I think, speaking of Fuji, because Sean, I meant to text you this the other day, but Mike had reached out because you know how we haven't done the old school in like forever, and that's my fault because I've had so much going
that's
on.
it. I'm done.
I've had so much going on between moving and everything, but I'm thinking about, I'm really targeting sometime in April to bring the old school back and finally do that show on the '08 Phillies. So stay tuned. We'll keep you posted. But any fans that like the old school out there, we're going to do that within the next month. Dave Yornell says, according to the Shire app, they have Lorenzen pitching. That's what I'm saying. What the hell's the Shire? Well, the Shire app. I mean, I don't know what the hell that is. That's like Stevie Wonder looking at something. They ain't seeing shit.
What do they got those Cowboy fans drinking?
The Shire app is an Iranian app. They have no clue what's going on right now.
It would be funny though. It'd be funny though. We're sitting here, we're sitting here like cracking up. Meanwhile, then Dave gets the last laugh. He's like, "Motherfuckers, I told you, Lorenzo." We turn the TV on. Lorenzen's out there. He's like, he messages is like, "Fuck you guys, I told you." I'm just playing, Dave. According to the score app, it says Lorenzen. Well, I don't know. Everywhere I've looked, it says Nola. So who knows?
How about we say this? A Phillies pitcher is pitching tonight.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, either a current Phillies pitcher or a Phillies pitcher that's thrown a no-hitter before.
Yes.
So yeah. So
probably Nola, and then Lorenzen's probably going to pick up right after Nola.
It could be. Yeah. You know what? That would actually make sense. Like say they get 4 or 5 innings out of Nola, then Lorenzen pitches. You know what I mean? Or
it's win or go home.
Yeah. So since we're talking baseball, any other Philly stuff?
I'm worried about Garcia. They need a right fielder. Now he would be good, somebody to go off the bench, but they need an everyday right fielder. I know it's spring training and stuff, but he still hasn't shown me anything yet.
How about Bohm? From what I understand, Bohm's been, maybe Bohm's feeling the the footsteps of a guy like Aiden Miller. You know what I mean? Because Bohm's actually been hitting for some power in spring training. So
seeing is believing. I want to see more.
We would like to see him do that. I mean, I think everybody would. But this reminds me back in the day when Rhys Hoskins first came to the Phillies. And what was the other guy's name was with him? Dave something? Was it Dave something? Dylan Cousins.
Oh, yeah.
And Dylan Cousins was crushing the ball. And everybody thought, oh, this guy's going to be great. Where is Dylan Cousins now? Nobody even knows who he is.
Yeah, that's right. I remember.
Arby's.
And he had like 6 or 7 home runs in the, what do you call it, spring training. And they're thinking, oh, this guy's going to be this guy's going to crush the ball. He's going to, go after Mike Schmidt's home run thing. Oh, no. Dylan Cousins never even made it in the league. Yeah,
I was going to say, I think Dylan Cousins is probably like selling life insurance somewhere. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or maybe, hey, for his sake, maybe he got into what's the shit that everybody's trading? No, why am I drawing a blank? He's doing like
crypto.
There you go. Yeah. Dylan.
There you go.
Dylan Cousins is like, fuck this shit. It's hard to hit baseballs. I'm getting into crypto.
There you go.
Or what can Cousins do for you in State Farm?
Oh, Dave said his phone's crazy on the spelling. Sorry, guys. Hey, that's all right, Dave. No matter how you spell it, I think it's NOLA pitching tonight. No, I'm just playing. No, but I'm trying to think. Yeah, so so the Phillies, hopefully, in 2 weeks. 2 weeks we get it going out. What was encouraging too? It looks like Wheeler's been throwing the ball a little bit, so we'll see what happens with that. Right? Didn't Wheeler throw off the mound or something last week? I was saying.
Yeah, a couple days ago, he did.
Something like that.
Yeah, so
ease them in. I don't want to take any chances. Just ease them in.
yeah, that's what she said. Yeah. All right. So anyway, all right. We have one more comment here. Yeah. All right. So Maurice Wright says, "Yeah, this is what I wanted to get back into because we're going to get into some
Do it.
football here." Maurice Wright says, "Did Howie make two really good moves on the low?" I think so. Although the Woolen sign and I love. I mean, Jeff, I know you.
Incentive signing.
Yeah, I know you know him from Seattle now, but I want to ask you though. I'll ask you, Jeff, since you also follow the Seahawks. He's very athletically talented, but I was hearing that he's got a lot of issues when it comes to penalties, though. Like
he had 5 misconduct or whatever you would have called them penalties against him. So in the Super Bowl, in the Super Bowl, or excuse me, in the playoff game against what was it, the Rams? He was running down the sideline and to every Rams player, and the referee was running down, telling him to shut the bleep up, or I'm going to give you a penalty. He kept doing it, and finally the guy had to throw a penalty. He's like, "I gave you every chance," and it does not.
The Rams score. Yeah.
So it won't just be Jalen Carter spitting on Dallas. It'll be the two of them.
Yeah,
he's got that kind of an attitude. I think the Eagles will, reel him in. They'll get Dom on him or something. But the guy can play. That's the big thing. And he's big, quick, everything like that. That was a sneaky move. Johnson they brought in. That's another sneaky move. From what, I'm watching Good Morning Football, and they have all different guests on and other players. They said the one backfield right now, or the one secondary they actually fear is the Eagles. They said they got some sneaky moves, and they got Quinion back there, and they like this guy Reed. They say that he's really good. They said that they're going to be tough to play against.
Yeah, I mean the only thing is they need to do something with the. I mean, obviously they're going to address the safety position because right now you're banking a lot on second year player Makuba. You know what I mean?
I'm not, but
I like the I think a hidden, to touch on Maurice's point. I think the linebacker from Atlanta is a nice little sneaky little under the radar guy. I can't really say his name, Ezeke or Ezekwa. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
Penn State product.
Yeah, he went to Temple and Penn State, but I mean he supposedly he's quick off the edge. He in part-time, he didn't do a ton this past year, but 23 and 24, I think he had 6 sacks each year. And he only plays 40% of the snaps, So he looks like a really good possible rotational piece. And then bringing Goddard back, to me that's key because and then you signed the blocking tight end from Jacksonville because Goddard had a bad year blocking, but you signed an elite level blocker from the guy in Jacksonville. And even though this draft is pretty deep in tight end, it's nice to not be forced to take one. It's nice to. I still think they do take a tight end, but you don't have to. Yeah, you do because Goddard's only signed for one more year, but you're not forced to take a guy and say, you maybe you could get a guy in maybe round 3 and you bring him in and you develop him for a year and then he steps up next year.
I don't understand the Calcaterra signing.
Yeah, I didn't really get that either.
He can't block. And, every once in a while, he can catch, but he can't block.
Granson left. He signed a 1-year deal with the Titans. So you got E.J. Jenkins, Latua, who's probably going to be our fullback now because I don't think they're signing Van Summerlin because of his knee and etc. You got Johnny Wilson. You can convert Johnny Wilson.
There was a possibility that he's not going to be here because they were saying that Tank's going to take over that. I'm thinking, there's a trade they were thinking Johnny Wilson might be thrown into. That a team was really looking after him. We'll see what happens. And again, I watch a lot of, like I said, Good Morning Football. I usually watch Get Up and those different things and what these other people are saying or whatever. I think Rappaport was saying that.
Yeah,
and the guy, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say the Calcaterra thing I didn't necessarily get per se. Mm-hmm. Because I'm kind of with you there. The only thing is, in this guy's kind of offense, because he kind of follows like a Sean McVay type offense, maybe the thought is maybe he watched the film and said, "Hey, you know what? Like, let me work with him for a year. I think I could split him out as a receiver a little bit more."
Well, how much would Njoku cost? He's still sitting out there. I would take him in a heartbeat. Now you got two guys that can catch.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I mean, I'm just like I said, I'm just trying to wonder why, like you are, like what was the point, you know? Maurice Wright says Wilson could be a wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, but
Possession receiver, maybe.
They're going to use Cooper as the guy in the middle. Cooper's going to be the guy in the middle, yeah. He's going to take over for Dotson.
Yeah, and like you brought up, Joey, tight end wise, I can go on. You got Eli Stover, Vanderbilt, Claire from Ohio State, Delp from Georgia, Sadiq. I mean, he's the eye in the sky for everybody. They love him.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we do lose AJ, I think they're really heavy on Amari Cooper's brother from Indiana. I think they're bringing him in for another interview. Kid has size, can go rack after the catch. I mean, he's everything you want in a wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you go Cooper. I'm sorry, what was that, Jeff?
As I said, I'm just so tired of the whole AJ thing.
Oh yeah. It is. It's tiresome.
It's distracting.
Seth Joyner said it perfectly. You bitched and moaned about it. You got your carry. I mean, you got your catches, your whatever yards. But like I said to you two, he didn't show up when it needed most. San Fran game, correct? Like, come on.
Right.
You got held. You as a professional, get back in the huddle. Say, you know what? Give me that ball. I'm gonna, just like he did with that Commanders game. He made the rookie his bitch.
Yeah.
Do that. But no, you cry and you sulk, and you're the 21st century prima donna diva. You
had Bryant.
I know what you mean.
You had what's his face? Terrell Owens, who played, unbelievable.
He played hurt. You can call him all you want. He played with a broken fibula. God.
Yeah.
You had Alshon Jeffrey, who played with what? Messed up wing. All year he played with that, and he
showed
still
up. Okay.
Put it out. So that's. I mean, he's a great talent, but you know what? Sometimes your mouth and your whatever, it's a distraction.
It doesn't help. Yeah. It's almost like you kind of bring the team down. You're so toxic.
Yeah.
It affects not me, but all three of us. You know what I mean? If it's one rotten apple.
Yep.
And
do they have to change the? I mean, look what happened after he did his first bitch session. One game, they went to him, almost the whole game.
Bing, bing, bing. Yeah, exactly.
You can't do that. You have to be a team.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
The fact of Devontae, real quick, if he has a problem, you know where he goes? He takes it in-house. He takes it in the locker room. He doesn't chastise you just like AJ does. He does it behind closed doors.
Sure.
How it should be. The adult way.
To me, he's a professional team player.
That's what AJ sure shot number one anywhere else.
Yep, he would.
Go ahead, Joey.
No, I was just going to say, I agree. Maurice Wright with an interesting point, because he said Cooper's a good player. I think if they get him more involved, he'll be a factor in the offense. I could see that only for the simple. I mean, they are going to draft somebody, but the fact that they had that kid playing out there in the playoff game tells you that they think something of him.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because they, if they didn't think that he had any type of a future, his ass wouldn't have been playing in the playoff game. But the fact that they had him out there for some snaps against the 49ers, tells me that, they may think that this kid can make a little bit of a jump in year two. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. With the right coaching, and plus, beginning before he played, he runs great routes. As well as I do.
Tell me a player we had about
great route, boom.
We had a player about 5 years or so ago who was pretty good and was making some good catches here. But we kind of just let him go because we didn't whatever. Matt Collins. He reminds.
Well, Matt Collins also, you got to put in the factor too, Jeff. When he was here, he had a torn groin,
Right.
and
We
he
didn't.
went to go see a specialist, and then holistic, and then like the whole reason
Yeah.
behind him going barefoot. But now look at him; he's a
That's what I'm
serviceable
saying. Sometimes, I mean,
damn wide receiver, and
sometimes we
change
give
is
up too
better.
fast. Sometimes we get too fast on a player, and Cooper looks like he could be a player, so keep him here. I mean, I understand why they had to keep Rager for so long because he was a high pick. There's certain players they keep, but Cooper looks like he's going to be pretty good. Then play him, throw him the damn ball. Supposedly they love this offense. I hope it's true. Jay Allen and all them are saying all the same right. They think this offense is going to be great this year. I hope it's true.
Yeah, I mean they and you know as far as as far as the AJ thing, I mean they still can move on with him. I'll tell you there's a receiver out there I would bring it, like I would still draft a guy obviously. I'll tell you there's a free agent receiver that I'm actually still kind of surprised he's out there. The kid unless he signed and I missed it, Juwan Jennings from San Francisco. I think he's still out there. Like he's a guy that's not going to cost you a shit ton of money. You know what I mean? Like, obviously he's no AJ Brown. Let's keep it real. Like Devontae Smith would be your number one. You'd bring in a guy like a Juwan Jennings to be like a veteran guy, and then you go draft a guy like a Cooper. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, obviously you're taking a major step down going from AJ Brown to a guy like Juwan Jennings. But I guess the thought is, well, you hope the offensive line starts playing well again, the new offense. Maybe you draft maybe like you guys were saying, like maybe you draft a tight end in the second round, and then you go some two tights, like maybe Goddard and the young rookie, and maybe you go different types of formations on the offense.
And you never know. If they do get rid of AJ and they get the picks and everything that they want, just before the season starts, players get cut. There might be a wide receiver out there who we pick up and turns out to be the answer for that year. I mean, like Cooper Kupp. He helped out Seattle.
Yeah, Maurice Wright saying, I guess this is about Juwan Jennings. He's for the 49er system, probably not here. I mean, that could be right. I'm just saying, just in general as a veteran receiver, because I mean, if you do move on from AJ, I don't think you want to just go into the year with like Cooper, and then the guy you draft. You know what I'm saying?
You have to get somebody else now. You have to get somebody.
I feel like you want to get somebody else. I mean, not
You
necessarily
have a backup plan.
but
Yeah, you do. Because if Devontae goes down for even one game, then what do you have?
You next man up mentality, but like you said, who do you have? You got Johnny Wilson coming off in the injury, Darius Cooper, but like you said, get the right people in here to be in that offense.
yeah,
And a lot happens. Like I said, a lot of players are going to still switch teams when they get cut. That always happens too. Free agent frenzy is fun to watch and all this other stuff, but players get cut.
And the tight end that we signed from Jacksonville, he can block his ass off.
Yeah, Matt, whatever his name is.
Munt.
That's it.
Yeah, so
That's right.
I don't know his first name, but Munt, serviceable. So kind of get him, like we said, Goddard and him involved. Calcaterra, I don't know why.
Maybe they'll, I don't know. Maybe they just wanted to get them in case they didn't get this other guy, or who knows what. Maybe he'll end up being on the practice squad, or they'll just
trade him. Trade him. Shit, I'll trade him for a bag of.
If anybody wants them, I don't know if anybody, I guess there's some team out there that might.
Oh yeah, the Eagles supposedly were interested in Darnell Mooney, but he went to the Giants.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute though. All is safe. We got Quez Watkins back.
Oh my God.
We got Quez Watkins. He's still in the league.
Yeah.
The Eagles signed him back. He's on the Eagles depth chart right now. They must have brought him back in for a look-see.
Is he on the death chart or depth chart?
I don't think he's on the catch the ball chart. I mean, that was, all kidding aside, his drop. I mean, that Super Bowl we lost to the Chiefs. I mean, obviously there were so many plays. That game could have gone either way. Quez Watkins dropping that fucking ball was a huge play in that game.
Sure.
That was a huge play. He drops that ball. He catches that ball. We probably win that game.
Yeah.
I feel like the Eagles are going to focus on the run. Maurice Wright says, I feel like the Eagles are going to focus on the run this year. Quez is back. Is Sweat next? That's interesting. Josh Sweat is open to a trade. You know, if Howie can make the numbers right, if you could get Sweat for like a 4th round pick, I mean, I would bring him back in. Like I know
Calcaterra.
What's that?
We'll give him Calcaterra. He can play behind Trey McBride. He can be his blocking.
Yeah, because Sweat supposedly
he wants out.
Packers and us are rumored.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Jonathan Greenward or whatever is still a possibility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean, but I still think they try to get another edge. But I mean, at least we got at least we did get the guy from the Falcons.
There's all kinds of rumors out there. They said Jadeveon Clowney can come in for a year as an edge.
No thanks.
They just had some names they were spitting out. They were saying there's some edge players out there that surprised haven't been picked up, but they'll be the ones that'll be picked up like last minute. Somebody gets hurt in preseason or whatever, they'll get picked up. And like I said, a lot happens between drops
now and then. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Howie, I trust. Still go with him. He's sneaky somehow. Like he seems to get certain guys. Supposedly, like you said, the guy they picked up, what was it, from the Falcons? They said that he's perfect for Fangio, for his system.
Who's that?
He's like Uche and Epukutai, the guy from the Falcons that Jeff said, the Temple Penn State guy.
Yeah.
Epukutai or something, but yeah. I mean, he reminds me of Uche and the other guy, Alohara, the guy that went to the where did he go?
Hey,
one guy went to the Dolphins, one guy went to the Falcons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you what. For a 1-year deal, I'd bring Jadeveon Clowney here. He's getting 8.5 sacks a year. Supposedly he rushed 15. He ranked 15th in pass rush win rate among edge rushers at 16.7%. He's probably going to sign a 1-year deal. I mean, if you told me, here's the way I'm looking at it: if you can't make a trade for a guy like Josh Sweat and the other guy, I mean, we rotate our ends anyway. So if you bring Clowney in, you bring him in for 1-year deal. I mean, BFD, if it doesn't work out, he's only signed through this year. And then you rotate him in with the guy from Atlanta, with you still got Alex Hunt, you got Nolan Smith, Brandon Graham might come back. I mean, you start the year off rotating those guys in, and then if at trade deadline, if you need somebody else, maybe Howie makes another deal and brings in another.
Howie seems to know and seems to pick the guy up when they're towards the end of their career, but they still have a touch left. I don't think Phillips is going to have the same kind of. It's going to be as good as he was here. He got way overpaid.
Yeah, I wouldn't have given him $30 million a year. That's way too much money.
So Clowney wants to get a championship. There's a good possibility here. He knows if he comes to a team like this, he'll play his heart out.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm all right. I'm all right with it because, you're kind of like, you're kind of like throwing darts at the board. You're like, okay, hey, you know what, let's try Clowney. Okay, all right, the kid from Atlanta. Okay, like last year it didn't work out. Last year they brought Uche in. Although Uche was actually all right for a few games, but the guy that surprised was it Olugiori? How do you say? Yeah, he really didn't do shit.
Mm-mm.
He was on the deactivated list many times.
Yeah,
he's going to play.
The easiest way to say these football players' names is to put marbles in your mouth and then just talk.
I know.
It's impossible. I'm telling you.
I know. Tell me about it. These edge rushers, I'm like, wait, how do I say it again? I'm like, I don't know. The motherfucker from Atlanta.
We have no clue, like on the back of their jersey, if they even spelled the name right. We're like, whatever. You just throw letters on the back.
Hey, as long as that John says sack or quarterback pressure, I'm good. I don't give a fuck what it says. You know what I mean? Basically, what's your name? I get quarterback. Sounds fucking good to me. Cool. How much you want? You know what I mean? That's all I care.
Off the topic a minute. Did you hear the interview the other day with Christopher Sanchez in Japanese?
No, I didn't.
They didn't know that his headset was set for Japanese. It wasn't. He didn't have the right headset on, so they asked him a question in Japanese, and he just started busting out laughing. It was all hysterical because he's kind of thinking like, "What the." And then he just starts breaking out laughing. He goes, I. He just made some shit up. It was hysterical.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
It was great. And it happened once before during a major league game. It happened by mistake, and it happened this time. And they said it was just hysterical. And Sanchez just went with it. He's like, well.
That's great.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess we'll have to see what happens. I mean, how about you know what? So we're obviously we're Eagles.
Who do you think won so far in free agency? Who do you think like number one and number two of teams that really strengthened themselves?
Well, I mean, when it's the first week,
good moves.
Yeah, when it's the first week, it's always gonna be the teams that like suck that spend the most money. You know what I mean? Like I kind of like what Tennessee did. I like what the Titans did. I like what the Raiders did. You know what? I'll tell you what. They always get shit on, and they probably will still suck. But I actually like what the Jets did. I think for once the Jets actually made a lot of
guys. Yep.
I think the Jets. I mean, they're still going to stink probably, but I mean, I think they made a lot of nice like culture type moves. You know what I mean? Like they brought like for instance, like their defense was trash last year. Well, they brought like adults in the room. They brought like DeMario. They brought a DeMario Davis, who's a little long a tooth, but he's still a good player to play linebacker. They brought Minka Fitzpatrick in. They brought Jamal Adams back. They brought because Aaron Glenn, Aaron Glenn needs some guys to like change the culture at that place because the Jets. I mean the Jets have, for all the lack of talent. It's funny. They actually did. I mean, if you look at the Jets, they actually did have some good players at part of the year last year. I mean, at one point, the Jets had Sauce Gardner, Quinnen Williams. You know what I mean? I mean, there's two guys, but they had some guys that could play, and the team is just fucking horrible. So they get, Jermaine Johnson, they had a decent pass rusher.
Did he leave Jermaine Johnson?
They traded him to Tennessee and they got a defensive tackle, run stuffing defensive tackle. So it was
Carolina picked up some players too with NTN and some guys too.
Yeah, I think Carolina did some stuff. The Jets, the Raiders. You know what? Washington. I think Washington signed the DN linebacker from New England, and then they also signed Owa, I think it was, from the Chargers. Baltimore drafted.
Yeah.
Baltimore drafted him a few years ago in the first round. He was kind of like a quote unquote bust in a way. Well, he broke out in San Diego, Los Angeles, the second half of last year, and. If Washington could get good football out of them, I think that could, and Washington's going to get Daniels back. I mean, they could be good again. Here's another move. Dave Arnold says, I see Kyler Murray is wearing the color purple. What do you guys think? To me, that was a no-brainer move. By the Vikings. I mean, because JJ McCarthy, you don't necessarily know about. You're bringing Kyler Murray in for like $1 million. I mean, if it works out, great. If it doesn't, fuck it. You only spend $1 million. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I think Murray's
like Justin Fields going to the Chiefs.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what? That might be the best thing to happen to that kid's career ever. Go. Justin Fields. He's been in the league for 4 or 5 years. Never really put it together. He's a great athlete. Well, he could go and learn under Andy Reid, I mean, how many quarterbacks has Andy Reid worked with? You know what I mean? So, maybe Andy Reid behind the scenes could teach him to actually be a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look what now. I'm not comparing the two because Mike Vick was much better than Justin Fields, but look at how Andy Reid and Reid's staff turned Mike Vick into a much better passer than he was in Atlanta. You know what I mean?
True, very true.
Yeah.
Maurice Wright says, I think the Eagles move. I guess he means I like the Eagles moves, but this year I say the draft is where they need to go hard for the future. Yeah. And you know what? Let's kind of focus on the draft for a minute because that's another piece of Eagles news. The reworking of Landon Dickerson's contract. Dickerson was signed through 2028. Now he's only signed through 2027, which a lot of people are saying that could open up the possible retirement after this year or next year. And Sean, you sent me a text yesterday. Was saying what's there about 10 or 11 like really top rated interior offensive linemen supposed to go in the first 3 rounds?
Oh yeah. Rutledge, Tyron, Strange, Lomo. I mean, the kid from Miami, I love Rodriguez, but he's going to be top 5, top 10. Me and Maurice were talking about that. I mean, Parker, I like from Duke. I mean, there's a lot of guys that you can actually sit and wait and get for Landon Dickerson and Lanes as their future replacement. I mean, we lost Pryor. Whoop-de-doo. See you later. And just like we all said, and we can agree, move Juergens over and draft a center. Which I like this guy. I'll say it now. Slaughter from Florida. He's got size. He's a true center. Go with it.
Who's the kid with the mullet that ran? Who's that?
Jennings Junker from Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yeah,
I have him. Me and Mox, Sully.
Yeah,
I've been doing it. He's there. He's got good feet. He's got good mobility. He's everything you want in an O lineman. Plus he's got that beautiful mullet, so that's a win-win.
Yeah, he looks like
my man Jeff.
He looks like a guy. He looks like a dude you'd see, at a fucking bouncer. Walk in there and he's just like. You run like you get the running game going. You're like, where are you running? We're running behind the fucking bouncer. You know what I mean?
In other words, he's a Philly guy. He's already got the name Junker.
Yeah. I think it wouldn't shock me. I mean, if you look at the Eagles, what do they got? 4 picks in the top 100. I mean, well, one thing, Howie's going to move around. He always does.
23, 54, 68. 98, 122. I mean, two in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. I mean, nothing in the 7th. But like you said, he can make it happen.
I could see. I mean, he's probably not going to draft by position. Hopefully they'll probably go best player available. But it wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me if you went. Tackle, at least 1 interior offensive lineman, at least 1 wide receiver, safety, edge rusher. You know what I'm saying? Like I could see.
Yeah.
And a quarterback.
What's that?
Quarterback.
Take a quarterback late.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now. We'll come back to it. I want the kid from Green from Arkansas. He's another young Randall Cunningham, dude.
I'd like to take a shot on him. If nothing else, it's like, he's probably not even close to being ready to play. You bring a guy like him the fuck in, and he sits.
Yeah,
he sits. You know what I mean? And then, and what's cool about a guy like that? although I guess if he's the third quarterback, you can't do it. But just say
Well, we
hypothetically,
lost Sam Howell.
we'll say you activated him, you know,
Yeah.
he would be like he's such a great athlete. He'd be a perfect scenario of like a gadget, like some gadget
There
plays.
you
You
go.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like you bring him in and like, you know, you could do some shit with an athlete like him, you know?
Wildcat.
Since you said Swiss Army knife, what are you guys thinking? He's still available. It just hit me in the head. Taysom Hill.
I would, you know what?
Would you put a flyer out on him? Him
If
being that.
Depending on what
You
he's
can put
asking
him
for.
everywhere.
Depending on what he's asking for, I mean, they could use somebody like that. He can play a couple positions, and
Yeah.
you know it depends on what the offensive coordinator and all that kind of stuff is. If he has, you know, plays set up, but that could definitely throw a wrench in. I don't know if he's too old though. You hear nothing about him. Like last year, did they just not use him, or is he just really washed up?
I think you know what, you bring up a good question. Was he hurt like with the little nagging injuries? I think so.
Because I didn't hear anything about him last year. I don't know.
But all in all, like you said, I mean, wide receiver, tight end. I really like the kid, and he's in a lot of mock drafts. I do. Derek Moore from Michigan. I see him as another Brandon Graham. Technique's awesome. He's fast. You know. But safeties, there's a couple safeties now. I was talking to Maurice and Joey about it. Jeff, would you draft the kid from Oregon or the kid from Toledo early, like second round, if he's there?
They might go in the first round,
Probably
Sean.
Oregon, but second round.
We're first round, yeah, you're right. Do you address that
Depending on their
need?
need, if they don't have like something else worked out somewhere else with another team, I would go in the first round. If he's the best player in a position that they really need somebody, which they need safety, yeah,
True.
That's what it comes down to. If that's where they're at, or
I see us getting a player like a diamond in the rough, Joey, like DeJean and Quignon, like hitting a home run, you know, this year.
Hey, the kid from Toledo already knows Quignon Mitchell. I mean, they already know each other, and you know, I like his mentality. He was I mean, I didn't see this. I was at work, but on X, he was on with Kay Adams. He was talking about how he can't wait to try to hit Derrick Henry, and Kay Adams was like, "Well, are you crazy?" You know what I mean? But I like
that's awesome.
I like the mentality, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
you
I like.
have to.
I
watched
like
Gene pick him up and throw him on his back. He says, "I can do that."
Yeah,
I mean that's a great mentality.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, man. First off, if you ask to hit a guy like Derrick Henry, your ass might get fucked up. And I'll tell you, if you get fucked up, the guy to call is my man, Jason Fine, a.k.a. Attorney Big Al. Motor vehicle accident, slip and fall, workers' compensation, or personal injury. Well, a lot of motherfuckers get some serious personal injuries trying to tackle Derrick Henry's fucking legs, man. That dude will fucking motherfucker up. He's got 3 office locations throughout Pennsylvania and New Jersey, 1 in Philadelphia, 1 in Cherry Hill, and 1 in Pittsburgh. So I don't know. My man from Toledo, he keeps, I mean, hey, I'm hoping for the best. I wouldn't mind seeing the Eagles draft him. And I'd love to see him pull a Cooper DeJean and take a guy like Derrick Henry down.
Oh, he
Let's
would.
be real, man. You might get jacked up trying to tackle dudes like that. A lot of dudes make business decisions.
One art in football that people just don't know how to do anymore is tackle. I hate when these guys go flying at their legs and they don't miss. They miss and they look like idiots laying there watching the guy go past.
Like I told my nephew, it all comes down to coaching. You want to put your head outside and tackle. You're not going to be, to me, in our day, Joey, Chuck Cecil, heat-seeking missile. Where you want to jam your neck? Be my guest. Neck stingers ain't fun or pretty. They hurt.
No.
You know? And it'll
nowadays,
bring you back where you'll never do it again.
You've got the players now who all want to leap over everybody. So you got to watch that too. So you just got to learn to tackle. It's not just the Eagles, but obviously I watch them every week. But you watch these other teams too, and you're like, These guys are making all this money and they just can't tackle.
Yeah, they over pursue. Stay home.
Mhm.
Look at where you got to go, and boom, it's easy. It ain't that. It ain't that goddamn hard.
No.
You know.
That's a concern. That's a concern with Reek Woolen. Supposedly, he's not a good tackler, so that's one. That's one concern with him. And the one thing about Fangio doesn't like his corners not being able to tackle. So that'll be interesting. I mean, Woolen's at least. He signed pretty much a 1-year prove-it deal. When you think about it, a lot of incentives.
A lot of incentives, exactly.
I mean,
bingo.
He's going to have an opportunity here, but he's going to have to at least attempt to tackle, because Fangio don't like that shit. And let's not kid ourselves. I don't. Jonathan Jones may not even make the team, possibly, but he's a 32-year-old veteran who's got a lot of experience. He can tackle. And he played under the new defensive backs coach from New England. I mean, if Jones makes the team and Woolen's out there, even if Woolen's covering really good, but if he's getting all kinds of penalties and missing tackles and shit, I don't think the Eagles are going to stand for that. I really don't.
I think I would want to turn a leaf if I'm with the new team and prove people. Like, okay, they say I can't tackle. You read in social media. I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to try to get better. And I could see him trying to do that, instead of taking the narrative like, yeah, man, like unsportsmanlike conduct.
That's a big thing that he talked about, and they were talking about in the Seattle media, that a lot of the players on there, they really like him a lot. I think he's a great player and all, but they weren't so concerned when he left because of the stupid penalties that he was taking, all those game misconducts and all the
conduct. So kill your team.
Yep.
Yeah,
he said
with the Rams game, that was big.
Yeah.
Here's another aspect of that, though. You got a guy on a prove it deal, only signed through this year. I mean, how willing is he going to be? I mean, if say he's grading out great on coverage, how willing is he going to be to stick his nose in there and tackle when he knows, well, shit, if I get hurt, I don't have no money guaranteed next year.
I'm not him.
Thinking like that.
I'm not him, but I've already got my Super Bowl ring. So now it's for the money. At least I don't know. I think I would think that way. If I was a player, I mean, I wouldn't think whatever. I wouldn't be as stupid as that is, but he's doing what he's doing. But look at all these, huge name players over all these years that never won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So you've got your Super Bowl now. All right, now go get the money. What's next in life?
Well, not only that, too, Jeff. You won your Super Bowl in Seattle. Now you're with a team that can go back
to
the Super Bowl, win another one, and change your name, etch it into different, like a different legacy. And I think that's, like you said, a lot of guys, they want the glitz and glamour. They want the big bank.
Yeah.
But
doubling.
Go out like Tom Brady, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You hate him, but look at what he's done.
Yeah, I do hate him. But yeah, I can't say anything about his numbers.
Did you guys see? I thought this was interesting. This popped up on my phone too. Troy Aikman said that do you guys agree with this? Because I kind of do. Troy Aikman said that a lot of the reason that these guys so many football players get injured early in the year is because of the lack of training camps, the lack of really working on things. Because because I mean, how many times? Like, let's be honest. We all look forward to football season, right? I mean, like when football season starts, it's like, oh my God, this is great. And dude, I watch I watch football all day long on, starting in September, you know what I mean? But like, got to admit the quality of play in the first month for the past like 10, 15 years is fucking trash. I mean, the first month basically is basically glorified preseason games, except your starters are playing the whole game. It's pretty much that. And a lot of that's because these guys you don't have the training camps like you used to.
No, you don't. Even just like in high school, Joe, they don't do two-a-days. With two-a-days, you see who makes the cut, who's hustling, who's dropping like a fly. You see your guys that who you want and who you don't want. Just like you said, and then you're also early game shape ready. Get less injuries. Unless you take care of your body, you run, you do yoga, whatever it may be, you're good. But if you just don't take care of yourself, you're shit out of luck.
Yeah, but the I think that's kind of the great dilemma, because I feel like these guys are in better shape than they've ever been. But the problem is, though, I guess there's a difference between being in great shape but being in like football shape, like being getting the calluses from being hit. You know what I mean? Like you go in there and you're in great shape, and these guys are lifting all these weights and shit, and they're running and stuff. But then you get on the field and you're getting all kinds of soft tissue injuries because you haven't really done it.
Exactly it. Look at your years past. If you go back, you usually had your starters playing in the first or second preseason games and all that. And you watch some of the old movies or whatever like that. Even watching the Vince Papale movie, you saw how Dick Vermeil, he pushed those guys. That's what they did back then. You can see that's not the way it is. And I blame a lot of that on the players' union. You got to have this day off. You got to have Tuesdays off. And what is it, Saturdays or something? It's movie night and all this other bullshit. Just go play football.
If you take care of your body, do stretch, do yoga, whatever, you're fine. But a lot of these guys, like you said, Jeff, they don't want to do that.
Yeah, no.
They rather sit and look pretty.
And there's also something to be said about playing against somebody else. When you're not going to take it all out. You see on watching the Hard Knocks when they start yelling at one of the players because he's hitting a little bit too hard. That's the idea.
Right.
Darius Slay just retired.
Yeah. I was gonna say, shout out to Darius Slay.
He's retired. They said he's retired until something happens to the Eagles, and then he's coming back to the Eagles. He's not playing anywhere else. He said he's only taking one phone call, and that's the Eagles, and he's retiring. And they were saying, he'll just wait. If an Eagles get hurt and they need somebody back there because things don't work out, he'll be back.
Yeah, and then couple more quick things, I guess, before we wrap this joint up. Does Team USA win the WBC? I mean, just out of curiosity, what do you guys think?
I mean, real quick, man, the way Italy was playing with Vinny Pasquarino hitting 3 bombs and drinking those espressos. But we'll see. I'm hoping, but
they know they can beat a good team because they did win last night. It was a hell of a game, and the pitching really came through for him. I actually think, Skeens pitched a pretty good game, but I don't think he was on his A game.
Yeah, true. Very good. I agree.
So that gives them a little bit of confidence. It really depends on who they play. You got to go in thinking you're going to win it all. So I don't know, who would you rather them play, Italy or?
I like to see Italy and USA.
Yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool.
In my household.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. How's that?
Yeah.
That's it.
And you know what? And then another thing. I can't believe I forgot. I wasn't even thinking about this. You know why? Because I didn't play a bracket this year, but like NCAA college basketball fucking starts this week.
Oh no, we can do that next week.
Yeah.
The bracket.
Yeah, college. I didn't do, and then you know what? And then one other thing too. Sean, you got me on that soul power on Amazon, dude. It's fucking awesome, man.
Oh, ain't
it's really good.
Check it out, dude. Soul Power. It's all about the ABA, Jeff. I'm telling you, you'll love it.
It's so good. Yeah, it's really it's really interesting. It's about the ABA competing with the NBA in like the late 60s, early 70s, and then it goes into how they merged. They interview the players like Rick Barry's on there, Dr. J, Dan Issel, Gerb, like so many of the great players, were interviewed, and then they go into how the teams and how the owners, and basically
they had women owners.
Yeah, the
Which-
Kentucky
which-
Colonels. Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff, I think you'll like it.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that.
amazing.
I watched something, I guess, a while ago, years ago. That was how the the NFL came about, and how you had the different leagues and all that, and how it merged together, or it wasn't going to work, and that worked. All that.
$5,000 for an ABA team. Ain't that amazing?
Wow,
Yeah.
5,000.
Here's our man, Bob Hartnett. What's up, Bob? How you doing, brother?
What's up, Bob?
Well, back then that was
Yeah.
probably a lot of money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which probably was, but check it out, Soul Power on Amazon
It's
Prime.
great.
I'm gonna,
It's great.
look.
And Sean, this probably won't surprise you, but a couple years ago on eBay, I actually have a Dr. J Virginia Squires jersey.
Get out of here.
I swear to
Say
God,
this up.
Yeah, no,
What?
but I was here. Like, you know what's funny? When I watched that Soul Power, I was like, I'm half tempted to rock that. Well, tomorrow I got to wear green because it's dude. Tomorrow's St. Patty's Day, bro. So you know the Cooper DeJean jersey's got to get rocked tomorrow, or something Notre Dame, either one. But the
Joe Montaigne is coming out.
Joe Montaigne, I might have to rock. Yeah, I might have to rock a Joe Montaigne, or maybe but no, but I was gonna say no. I actually I have the Dr. J Virginia Squires John, man. It's a
That's
banging ass
awesome, dude.
jersey.
I
What's
have a-
that?
I have a Scott
That's
Kingery
awesome.
T-shirt.
A what T-shirt?
Scott Kingery green T-shirt for when they play a
There you
game
go.
on Patty's
Oh,
Day.
shit.
Yeah.
You know what? No, strike that. I'm not wearing the Cooper. You know what? I forgot, dude. I forgot. I got a green Tug
Smith.
McGraw. I have a green
There you
Tug
go.
McGraw Phillies jersey. I got to rock
There
that
you go.
tomorrow. Yeah, that's
For
the
the
St.
Tugger.
Patty's Day, John.
There you go.
There you go. Gotta
Yeah,
believe,
exactly.
man. Gotta believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, although
I
I
believe
got
with those Guinnesses.
yeah, although I gotta find it though. I don't know where the hell I put it, so I
Oh,
don't know.
dude, come on, give me a
If-
break, dude.
If it's in a bin,
You gotta find it. It's
fuck it,
green,
I'm
damn it.
Eugene, but
Oh wow, where's the green jersey at? You'll find it, dude. You'll find
Yeah,
it.
so-
Trust me.
And then they'll say, "Oh, I just used that to wipe the car down."
oh my god, I know. Can you imagine?
Oh, do you know I use this to dust the table.
the
and make the
fireplace.
gas.
I use that to clean out the fireplace.
Oh, dude.
All kidding aside, you know what's funny? Like, I'll tell you,
Oh,
she must love me, dude. Seriously, because I showed her, I was like, yeah, I have a few jerseys, right? And then all of a sudden I showed her. She's
You,
like,
get
holy
the
shit. I was like,
Fuck you.
damn. I was like, yo, you sure you still want to be with me? She's like, yeah. I'm like, all right.
You're like women with purses. That's
So-
why I
so-
gotta
so
say
here's the-
jerseys.
See, here's the thing. First of all, women are always going to have more clothes than us anyway. Okay?
I
And
have
they
more
gotta buy
clothes than
something
her.
new. Every place they go, they got to buy something new. You rewear the jersey probably over and over, whatever the occasion. But women can also wear our jerseys, and they look good in jerseys. So that's a double whammy right there for them.
That's true.
For
Yeah.
me, I gotta thank Joey for the t-shirts.
Oh yeah.
And my wife goes, "What the hell are you bringing all this stuff for?" I said, "Yeah, hey, I can't pass it up." You know?
I had a couple. Yeah, I had like a really cool Dr. J Blue John. What was it? A Blue John or Red John?
Red and blue.
Yeah, I
Like
forget. Yeah, it was
Moses
from like
Malone.
76. Yeah.
I love the Moses Malone with the stars. That it's like a tank top. That material.
I know. I wanted to keep that, but it's like I'm like swimming in it anymore. So I'm like, fuck that. I can't wear it. You know, I look like an asshole. But anyway, all right. Well, look, I guess we're gonna rock out. We're gonna wrap it up. Oh, you know what? Jeff, any hope for the Flyers or what? I mean, I thought that loss the other night. I know they've been playing a little better, but I feel like that loss the other night really was a kick in the ass.
No, there's too many teams above them. I mean, like you said, they can make it interesting, but it's the season's almost over.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be right there. They're just going to be right outside the cusp of making it. But it's showing the players, and I think next year is going to be. To me, next year will be the year. I think they're really weeding out the players. Tockett's
Who
getting
stays, who goes,
yeah.
kind of thing.
Much.
Okay.
They know that they need, and that we need to get some. We need to get some people that can hit. We got rid of what's his face, Belarus, or Delis, whatever the hell his name is, Delis.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Wow.
We got rid of him, but we need to be more like Anaheim. Anaheim's got some big ass guys, defense, that kind of thing. That's what the Flyers need. You got too many young guys flying around. Coots has got to go. We got a goalie. They've got some things they got to do. That's the big thing. So I think they had enough young guys in here. They got some good guys down in camp. So maybe there's going to be some moves there. It's going to take some time to rebuild. I thought this might be the year of the playoffs, but it seems like they're really nitpicking on players. And some of the players, I'm surprised they moved.
Can they get some fucking 4-leaf clovers like starting tomorrow, and try to pray for a miracle and get this Gavin McKenna? Wouldn't that be nice if somehow they got it like an? Although the problem, isn't he another winger though? I think I saw he's a left winger. See, but I don't give a shit. I want a star player. But that's the one problem with the Flyers. It's like you look at the Flyers. They're like what do you call it? They're like Buffalo. They're all wings. You know what I'm saying? Like you got Konechny, you got Forrester, you got the Russian kid Michkov. You got
they need a big center like Coots was. They need somebody that can go in there and that's the big thing that they need.
Pretty much.
And unfortunately, they don't have enough to give to other teams. They've had some rumors for some players. It's just not working.
Well, if they lucked out and got the first pick, could they like for example, like I see a team like the Blues who are out of it. Like they have a center. What's the guy's name? Robert Thomas. He's relatively young, right? Like, could they maybe parlay? And I like Tippett, but like, could they parlay like a Tippett and some picks and maybe another winger to get a guy like a Thomas, and then at least you have a number one center.
And that's up to what Jones and Briere have to decide if that's the way they want to go.
Yeah, I mean,
if that's a type of offense too that Tocchet wants to put in place.
Well, I mean, all I know is that I feel like the fan base. I feel like the fan base has given them a lot of grace and a lot of patience the last
15 years.
What's it? Right, but in particular, the last 3 years or so, I feel like the fan base has been like, all right, we're buying in the rebuild. Now, I got to be honest with you, my patience level's fucking over next year. Like, I better see improvement next year. Otherwise, I mean, as much as I like Briere and I like Jones seems like a really good ass dude and he talks well. Briere seems like a good ass dude and he's great in the playoffs as a player. But it's time to shit or get off the pot. Like, yo, you motherfuckers need to do something because this is getting boring. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I can barely even sit through just keeping it 100. Like, I barely can sit through a hockey game. Like, you watch them on the power play and you're like, damn, man, this shit's boring.
It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And that's been for a while. Their power play's been horrible. To me, the worst thing that they did was and Hextall's one of my favorite players, but when Hextall was GM, he screwed up, and then Holmgren the year after he screwed up.
Big time.
I'll never forget that. A lot of talent. They got it, and they're sprinkled around the league, and they're good players.
Yeah, couldn't we have gotten that guy Cofield from Montreal?
Well, we had that. Remember Cutter Gauthier? The guy's on fire.
Yeah. Well, they fucked that up. Yeah, I mean, it's what's sad. Yeah, because he's a center. He would be. Christ, he'd be our number one center.
That's what they were banking on. They probably would have made the playoffs had they had him on the team. He's that good.
Imagine if you had him with Michkov, a healthy Forrester. Then you have another line of Tippett, Konechny. You got the Porter Mortone guy coming. I mean, you're right. If they somehow can add the legit center guy. With all the good wings they got, they could do something. But right now they're just, but the problem is though, the number one goalie, the number one defenseman, and the number one center, they're the three hardest things to find. You can find wingers.
I don't understand their goalie problems. We used to be a goalie factory.
Yeah.
Half of our goalies are out there. If you look at the Alex Lyon, he's out there playing well. Obviously, Bobrovsky, he's going to go into the Hall of Fame. I mean, you've got other goalies out there. We had
have Gibson.
We had Mrazek remember that one year, and he hated it here, and
Anthony
he left.
Stolarz from Toronto.
We just don't seem to. Our defense sucks, and these goalies look like shit. And then they go out and play on a team with defense, and they look like they're all in the All-Star games.
Absolutely,
what the hell's going on?
But
that's been our problem. But
all right, guys. Well, listen, let's wrap it up. Go Flyers. I don't know, and then go Team USA, I guess, and then go Howie Roseman, make some good moves. Oh, and one more thing. Happy birthday. I think today's Joel Embiid's birthday. Happy birthday to Joel Embiid. Maybe we'll see you on the court sometime this year.
They said that he's played or he's sat one more game than he's actually been on the court since his career started. I read that today.
I know. It's the ultimate story of what could have been, But when he's on the court, he's one of the most gifted players I've ever seen in my entire life, but he's just never out there. So,
all
right, guys.
And happy St. Patty's Day.
Yep. Happy St. Pat's. Have a good one, everybody.
Strong, let's break the mold. Chasing the stories yet untold. Passion ignites like a blazing fire. Knowledge takes us higher, higher. Out of the box where the wild ones play. We see the game in a whole new way. Living loud, hearts in motion. Sports with soul, pure devotion. Alive with endless dreams. We're more than stats